So, this Inter Milan side need refreshing. They need rebuilding, refreshing new team, and they need to build a very good team in the future if they want to keep winning Scudettos, and also, even get back to reaching Champions League finals. Because this Inter Milan side, even though they had a good season domestically, in Europe, if they continue like this, they're not going to compete like reaching finals, semi-finals, win the Champions League, as they did in the years with Inzaghi when they reached a couple of finals, and with Mourinho when they won the Champions League. So, yeah. And they've got all players still in that team. Likes of Sommer, who after the Champions League final performance he had he had to leave. Cherby, I think. I don't know why he's still in that club. I should leave. Darmian should leave as well. So they've got some players who they should get rid of them, in my opinion. So yeah. And you look at the potential opponents for Atletico Madrid, Newcastle, Leverkusen, and Bodo Glimt. Atletico, they're going to face Liverpool or Tottenham. I mean, if Atletico Madrid face, for sure they'll prefer to face Tottenham, because if they face Tottenham, well, easy win for Atletico. If they face Liverpool, I mean, Atletico Madrid, when they play against the big teams, they can step up. Barcelona, Copa del Rey, Madrid Derby 5-2, but they've shown they can, have bad stumbles, like losing 4-0 to Arsenal, losing 3-0 to Real Vallecano. They're very consistent side, Atletico. It's difficult you don't know what you're going to get from them. Liverpool, they've not been that great this season as well, even though they won a couple of games, last few games. They've not been that good, so it's difficult to say who's the favourites between these two, because both have, let's say, identical struggles, if I'm being very honest. But for sure, Atletico against Tottenham, yeah, easy win for Atletico. Newcastle, Chelsea or Barcelona. I think Newcastle would prefer to face Chelsea, because, yes, I know, listen, as a football fan, I don't want Newcastle to face Chelsea, because I want to see, two teams face each other from different countries. I don't like this domestic clash in the Champions League. It's not what the Champions League is about. A bit like PSG against Monaco. You want to see teams, facing each other from different countries. If Newcastle face Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea should go through, but who knows? If Newcastle face Barcelona, yeah, Barcelona should go through easily. I think Newcastle and Chelsea Chelsea should go through, but I don't think it's as certain as, let's say, Barcelona have over Newcastle, in my opinion. Because that's why I think Newcastle prefer to face Chelsea, in my opinion. Because Chelsea, they can be very vulnerable. You see them last two games, very vulnerable against Leeds and against Burnley. Leverkusen against Bayern Munich or Arsenal, yeah, in either way, Leverkusen are screwed. But I think Leverkusen would prefer to face Arsenal, because if they face Bayern Munich, then it's a domestic clash as well, German clash. Bodo Glimt, they will face Manchester City or Sporting Lisbon. I mean, Bodo Glimt would prefer to face would prefer to face Sporting Lisbon. But even if they face Man City, I don't think they would be upset about it. They'll be like, okay, we beat them before, we can do it again. However, the downside is that they're gonna play Man City. If they're gonna play Man City, it's gonna be at the Etihad in the second leg. So that's the downside. So of course, Bodo Glimt would prefer to face Sporting Lisbon, but even if they get Man City, I don't think Bodo Glimt would be like, no, it's not what we wanted. But they would be like, yeah, we can compete. We beat them before. We can do it again. So yeah. Let's move on to today's Champions League games. You've got Atalanta against Borussia Dortmund. I'm going for... I mean, Atalanta, they lost 2-0 in the first leg, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, 2-0 in the first leg. Yeah, I expect Dortmund to go through, even though Atalanta, they're at home. So I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Juventus against Galatasaray, yeah, Juventus have a huge mountain to climb, losing 5-2 in the first leg. They have to come back. I don't expect them to have a great comeback and win 4-0 to beat this Galatasaray side. So Galatasaray, they're usually not strong away from home, but I expect Juventus to. Galatasaray to go through. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Juventus. PSG against Monaco, yeah, I mean, PSG obviously they had a huge scare early on against Monaco, losing 2-0, but they managed to come back and win 3-2. They're at home at the Parc des Princes. Yeah, it should be no problems for PSG. So I'm going for 3-0 win for PSG. Real Madrid against Benfica. Real Madrid obviously beat Benfica 1-0 in the first leg. However, in the second leg, you think like Real Madrid should go through. However, according to L'Equipe, they say that most likely Kylian Mbappe is not going to play the game in the second leg. So because he's injured. So yeah, he has a knee injury. It's not the first time Mbappe has been having these kind of injuries before big games. Like against Barcelona in the Supercopa final, even though he didn't start, he still played. Before, I think Man City when they lost 2-1 at the Bernabeu. You know, Kylian Mbappe is a fantastic player, but why does he keep having these issues before big games? I don't know why really. But anyway, even if I still think he will play, I don't believe in this kind of rumors. I still think he will play. But if he's gonna miss, if Real Madrid not gonna have Mbappe, I still think that with the quality of the players they have, they have enough in them to go through, and they're at home as well. They've got good players like Vinicius, Valverde, Bellingham still injured. Rodrigo should come back from the suspension. He had for getting red card against Benfica in the first game when they lost 4-2. So Benfica might have a chance. However, they're also not gonna have Jose Mourinho on the touchline because of the red card he received in the first leg. So yeah, you also don't know what you're gonna get from this Real Madrid side because they're very difficult to predict exactly because sometimes they're up and down. Even though they won a couple of games in La Liga, except the last one. So yeah, but I expect Real Madrid to go through. I don't think it's going to be easy, though. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, but I think Real Madrid have a very good chance still to qualify for the last 16, and they should. They're at home. They're a better team than Benfica. Yes, they have a couple of players injured, like Bellingham and potentially Mbappe, but I expect them to qualify. Even without Mbappe, I expect them to qualify as well. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Real Madrid. Benfica obviously would try to play, they will have to attack, they have to create chances and cause Real Madrid problems because that's what they have to do. They're training in the tie. So let's see. But obviously the odds are stacked against Benfica in this tie against Real Madrid. So yeah, and obviously there's been lots of lots been dominated over what happened obviously last week with the Vinicius Junior racism incident, and I've said enough about it last week, and I was obviously a lot of people were upset, and I was upset as well. I mean, Mourinho didn't show for the press conference pre-game, and he's not going to show the press conference for the post-game, which shows he's not being strong in that one because, like, I understand when people say he's being a coward. But maybe because if he was facing this kind of questions, if the reporters are going to ask him, do you still think what you thought about the Vinicius celebrating? He's not going to. I think Mourinho knows he messed it up. He knows that he messed it up, but probably he doesn't want to admit it publicly. I think he wants to focus in this game, more focus on football instead of. Focusing on obviously getting asked a lot of questions on what happened last week. That's what I think on the way he wants to approach it. So yeah, but still the way he went about it, the comments he made last week especially, and the way he went about it, not attending the press conference. Yeah, it's disappointing to see that from a manager like Mourinho. So yeah, and he's more than a manager, by the way. He's not just a manager. He's a powerful person. A lot of people listen to him. So yeah, but yeah, Obviously, with the Pastani, he's suspended, but he travelled with the team for the match because the Benfica are looking to appeal the decision to let Pastani play. I don't think he should be allowed to be allowed to play. By the way, with what he did in the first leg. But yeah, I expect Real Madrid to go through. Not be easy, but I expect Real Madrid to go through. So I'm going for 2-1 win for Real Madrid. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.